proved it. For people who have been following this discussion in Milwaukee but don't get into the city much anymore, and I know we have listeners from all over, I've described Milwaukee right now as a tale of two cities. It's a reverse donut. Milwaukee right now has a thriving downtown Lower East Side area. The construction is right now, I'd say at the highest level is maybe in a century in Milwaukee, with the number of major projects going on. The office towers that are going up, those that are proposed, the Bucks Arena, the massive amounts of new apartment complexes being built, the decision of Northwestern to not only build the corporate headquarters, but build the giant housing tower, on and on and on you could go. There is a tremendous migration into the city of Milwaukee of people who want to live there. That comes from two groups. It comes from the millennials and it comes from the empty nesters. The property values on the Lower East Side are strong as well. But you go away from those two areas and you see a city that is literally crumbling. It's like a reverse effect of the lake. It's like you have erosion on the shoreline, except it's not the shoreline that it's eroding, it's the land. You start on the north side and go to the west side and go to the southwest side and go over to the south side. This entire, say, crescent moon ringing around downtown, and you're seeing these neighborhoods just going to hell. The population is declining rapidly. The reason the city's overall population is rather stagnant is you have this huge influx coming into the downtown and Lower East Side and even parts of the Upper East Side. But that incoming is being matched by all the outgoing out of the neighborhoods. The near south side would be vacant were it not for illegal immigration. Were it not for the illegal immigrants moving into the near south side, there'd be nobody there. The far south side, the white flight is faster than ever. It's only in the areas way down by the airport and on the southwest side that there's still a stable white population on the south side. The Latino population is propping up what numbers that are left, but many Latinos are bailing out too. The middle-class Latinos are moving to West Allis and many other communities that can't handle the crime in Milwaukee. The central city, we used to think of it as, 27th and North, 27th and Locust, up toward Capitol, maybe a little bit over to River West. These were the high crime areas. You can go over to 76th Street now. The northwest side. The retailers are bailing. There are people who have laid down their roots in the city. And this car theft problem is for them the last straw. It used to be, and everybody in Milwaukee, it's almost a code that you talk in. There are certain parts of the city that you know that you probably shouldn't go into at night because you might be robbed or you might have something bad happen to you, and so on. And a lot of them are the African-American parts of the city. And it's simply been advice that people kind of know to follow. That advice isn't good enough anymore. You can be carjacked anywhere. In fact, the carjackings tend to be happening right now in some of the more affluent neighborhoods because that's where the better cars are, and that's where the carjackers think that the drivers don't have guns. Now get away from the carjackings, just the actual car theft. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It is an enormous problem. And then you heard